NBC Sports and the United States Golf Association proudly present the final round of the 1992 United States Women's Open Golf Championship. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Through the years, this city has nourished a powerful sports image. Mean Joe Green and the Steel Curtain once reigned supreme. Mario Lemieux has led the Penguins to consecutive Stanley Cup titles. And Barry Bonds is trying to lead the Pirates to a championship. And about 30 minutes from downtown sits one of the most famous golf courses in the world, the Oakmont Country Club. Its signature, a church pew bunker, which comes into play on both the third and fourth holes. The church pews are just a warning of what's ahead as the finest women golfers in the world come down the final 18 holes for their most important championship of the year, the U.S. Open. It was raining again earlier this morning, and mighty Oakmont again baring its teeth. About 1:45, the final twosome, Juli Inkster and Patty Sheehan teed off together. Patty drove it into difficulty. Could not reach the green. This was her third shot, Rhonda Glenn, trying to save par on this par 4.
Well, this has been the most difficult hole on the golf course, along with 2 others, so bogey is not hard to come by.
Julie was on in regulation, got down for her par, and Patty needing this one to stay even. Those treacherous greens, rolling it past and taking a bogey on the first hole. She fell one behind, and then Rhonda put her tee shot into difficulty on the second.
Yes, near that little ditch. Tough second.
And into the front right bunker.
Normally she's a great bunker player, but not this time.
And again, Juli Inkster on in regulation, got down for her par. Patty Sheehan in danger of falling 2 out of the lead here. Which she did on the first 2 holes. Now, Patty Sheehan needed to make something happen. Here it is on the third. Watch this wonderful iron shot.
And it's a blind shot, too. She can barely see the top of the flagstick.
An easy birdie for Patty from there. And then into the church pews at 4. But Rhonda, she got out here on this par 5.
Experience paying off a little bit here.
And she was able to get up on the green in 3, and this for a birdie. Oh, go
wow.
in the hole. Now, Juli Inkster's third shot at the 4th.
Swinging much better today. She's on plane, and she's much more solid at the top of her backswing.
So her first birdie of the final 18 holes. Now on the 7th hole. Watch this fine shot.
Some of the rolls and bounces coming back into Oakmont.
This for her second birdie. Ahead by 3 shots. But then on the par 3 8th, Patty Sheehan just a short time ago had this putt for a birdie. Now the 9th. This is live. Juli Inkster for a birdie.
Yeah.
shot advantage on Patty Sheehan. Now, Patty Sheehan with a birdie opportunity, also here at the 9th.
Patty is a very emotional player, and it must be a struggle to watch a player who's also your best friend make a birdie just before you putt. That birdie could keep her 3 shots out of the lead unless she makes this.
So close to birdies here on the front side. Julie Rankin, you have been out there with Patty and Julie. What's been the mood, and how did you assess their play here on the front nine?
Well, Brent, I thought on the putting green this morning that it was strictly business. They both took their own little side of the green. They were obviously the last 2 players left. Brian Inkster encouraged Julie a few more times before she went to the first tee. But Patty started out shaky. Julie started out playing with great precision as she has continued to. The battle does seem to be joined, though, and I think it's going to be a duel to the finish. The wind is a factor for the first time this week. Julie Inkster summed it up the best when she talked about friends competing against friends. She said, "I'd like Patty to play very well, but I really want to win this championship." Brent.
Thank you, Julia. There it is. Julie Inkster at 5 under par at Mighty Oakmont. A 3-shot advantage on Patty Sheehan. Neither had ever won the U.S. Women's Open Championship. Donna Andrews, Michelle McGann, Don Coe, Gail Graham, Dottie Mockery. They have all played well this week. Pamela Wright, Meg Mallon, Jane Geddes, Tammy Green, Mitzi Edge, Lisa Lutton-Neumann, and Helen Alfredson. A couple of Swedish women there at 8 over par. So good afternoon and welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. It's interesting about Julie Inkster. She has a wonderful playoff record. This year when we were out at the Dinah Shore, she lost to Dottie Mockery, the only time that she has ever lost in a playoff. And when it is virtually match play against someone like Patty Sheehan, you give her just a little bit of edge like that. And of course, Rhonda Glynn has been following the progress for us here all week. And Rhonda, it's been a great pleasure to have you here, and you have been a great help. You really know all the competitors so very well.
Well, thank you. I've covered this Women's Open so many times, and we keep seeing the same players come into contention. Julie Inkster a couple of years ago, and now Patty Sheehan for the 4th time. So it's a very exciting matchup. Let's take a look at some of the featured pairings that this wonderful old course has weeded out of this great field. The 3rd from the last group, Michelle McGann and Dawn Coe. Now, Michelle McGann, a great young player. Her length is a big advantage, and she's putting very well. Dawn Coe is a Canadian, and she has managed good scores, but her tee shots were beginning to stray in the 3rd round. In the 2nd from the last group, Donna Andrews and Gail Graham. Donna Andrews, although she rebounded from the 3rd round's shaky start, we'll have to find out if her lack of experience under fire will penalize her. And Gail Graham has had some great putting. This could make this 3rd-year professional a contender. And the last group, the featured pairing, battling it out, Julie Inkster and Patty Sheehan. Julie Inkster has the best record in head-to-head competition in women's golf today, but scrambling saved her 3rd round. And then for Patty Sheehan, she's a great ball striker, but to win, she must overcome the memories of her Atlanta collapse where she blew a 7-shot lead on the final 9. And that may be too much to overcome.
Rhonda, of course, that 68 that Julie shot earlier in the competition was a wonderful score. And Steve Melnick, I am a little bit amazed that she has now moved to 5 under. A lot of pressure. This is a very tough golf course.
Brent, it is one of the hardest golf courses in all of golf. And, you know, up until this point, this golf course has withstood the challenges of the best players in the game. But Julie Inkster has a chance to set a 72-hole scoring record here at Oakmont. Now, on paper, this is the 2nd longest course in Open history, but we have had had 7 inches of rain here in the last 10 days. It gives a huge advantage to the players in the field who hit the ball a long way and hit it very high. It's no surprise that Inkster is playing well, as is Sheehan, but what is surprising is how well they are, how many under par they're playing.
Yeah, Steve, and we have heard from Judy Rankin also out on the course. Ed Snead and Mary Bryan, will be hearing from them throughout the afternoon. Now, this is the 10th hole, Steve. The leaders have reached that.
What a difficult par 4. 430 yards. You play your tee shot up and over the crest of this hill and try to fit them among those bunkers in the landing area. Then your work really begins. It's a long downhill second shot to a green which slopes from front to back. 1 of 3 here at Oakmont. The greens here are the real character of the course. There you see the toughest holes here at Oakmont. After 3 rounds, the 10th hole is easily the most difficult. The first hole, a par 4, also playing very difficult, and the third hole, which Patty Sheehan almost made an eagle on the 3rd.
Gail Graham's 3rd shot. This twosome down on the green.
She hit a wonderful golf shot in, hit by the pin, and you could see the results. It's a very severe green.
She saved ground yesterday with 8 or 9 one-putt greens.
Rhonda, she had 9 one-putts yesterday and 4 one-putts on the front today.
11th hole. First look at the Canadian Dawn Coe, her 2nd shot.
Dawn has driven the ball into the right rough, as you can see, and she's got, I would just say, just a fair lie. She has about 155 yards to the hole, playing against the wind. It's the kind of a lie that if she catches it right, she can get it out pretty easily, but she goes a little heavy, she won't get to the green. She has bogeyed the last 2 holes, missed putts of around 2.5 or 3 feet on each hole, so that's hurt her a great deal. She had gotten off to a very good start.
Just grabbed it.
Get over it. Get over it. She said the club, as she hit the ball, it grabbed the club and it came out low, going a little to the left, and it came in up short in the front bunker.
Now in the fairway at the 10th, Patty Sheehan trailing Julie Inkster by 3 shots. Gail Graham up ahead, jumped in for par moments ago.
Well, Patty hit a good drive
Good
here,
tempo
but
now,
she's
good turn.
got very severe part of the hill. She has 195 back to the hole. It's a 4-iron if she wants to chance landing the ball near the front and letting it jump and run back there, or 3-iron if she's going to try to carry it back all the way. Wind coming from her right and helping slightly.
Now take off. Take off. Go. Go. Get down. Shot.
Now Michelle McGann's 2nd shot on the 11th.
From 140 yards, playing a 7-iron against the wind. Michelle with birdies at the last 2 holes.
Good.
Our leader, 2nd shot at the 10th.
Yeah, okay. It's fine.
Well, she hits the ball high, she hits the ball long, but you factor in a little bit of adrenaline, and she's really been tagging it today. 20, 25 yards past Patty every hole. Inside of 175 here back to the hole. She can probably hit as little as a 6-iron to land the ball at the front portion of the green.
You think that?
birdie moments ago.
Michelle has been very confident this week. She said she was just going to try to be patient today.
Here's our leader. She hasn't made a bogey since the 5th hole yesterday. That's 22 straight holes, played them in 4 under, and has a 3-shot lead.
Very fast putt here, and the wind's helping the ball to roll.
Well, the greens were 10.5 on the step meter when the day began, but I think they're getting quicker, Judy.
Don Coe for par at 11. She had bogeyed each of the last 2 holes, as Snead told you.
The driver started to stray yesterday and appears to be doing the same thing today.
Patty Sheehan looking for a birdie here at this very tough 10th hole. There's Steve Melnick as a comparison after 3 rounds of our 2 leaders.
Each driven the ball well. There are 42 driving holes here. You see how many they've hit. Greens in regulation, that's 38 and 40 out of 54. Both average about 30 putts around, but Inkster longer, as Judy Rankin said, a lot longer today. Big advantage.
There's a further comparison. Inkster has won 3 major titles. Sheehan 2. Neither, though, has won the biggest prize of all, and that's the U.S. Women's Open Championship. Now, Patty Sheehan realizing she has to make more happen. Julie Inkster has gotten to 5 under, so she must go birdie hunting.
She needs to put a little pressure on her. Last week, Julie was leading the tournament by 8 shots with 1 round to play. Nancy Lopez threw a 67 at her, and she won by only 2.
Drop it. Wonderful putt, Steve.
You simply don't make putts like that here at Oakmont, Brett. That's a tremendous effort by Patty Sheehan. We're seeing 2 excellent rounds of golf by our 2 leaders today.
Now, yesterday it was at 13 when she had fallen 1 behind. Now Michelle McGann for par at the 11th. Inkster for par, trying to avoid a 2-shot swing on this hole.
She made a lot of 3- and 4-footers for pars yesterday, kind of an up and down scrambling round, not hitting the ball as well as perhaps she's hitting it today.
This putt has a tendency to move left. Hard to see it.
So a 2-shot swing, and now Julie Inkster's lead down to just 1 stroke. And yesterday, Frank Hannigan had an opportunity to talk with Julie Inkster following her 3rd round.
Well, you were sort of like the ultimate USGA brat, you know. When the women's amateur 3 years and everybody thought she was going to turn pro, the women's open is her thing. But it didn't turn out to be that way, did it?
No, I think because I've always wanted it too much. And, you know, look at Tom Kite, you know, he just won it this year too. And I'm sure he's won it just as bad as anybody else. So, and tomorrow, you know, it's like today, I really felt really relaxed because I don't have anything to lose. I'm in the best position possible. I'm playing with Patty, who's a good friend. And I'm playing well, so I'm just going to go out there and fire at the pins.
So Julie Inkster's first bogey in 23 holes has tightened things up considerably. Dottie Makri at 4 over for the championship, 1 over for the day. This is her 3rd shot on the only par 5 on the back 9.
572 yards, virtually unreachable in 2.
She's bogeyed this hole her previous 2 rounds.
Watch it take off now. It's going right down the slope. This is another green at Oakmont that slopes from front to back.
Chipping. Gonna love this. Love this hole. Love this hole.
You never have to worry about where Dottie stands on the golf course. She'll let you know.
Patty Sheehan had honors. We'll show you that tee shot in a moment. Right now it's Julie Inkster.
Blind tee shot here, straight up the hill, left to right wind.
And as you can see, this hole kicks to the right also. With that left to right wind, it makes it a little bit trickier off the tee.
Now this was Patty Sheehan's tee shot.
Shot. That's fine.
If golf is a sport of momentum, Sheehan may have a little wind in her back right now, Steve.
Well, this is a chance to make another birdie here at the 11th. If you put your tee shot in play, it's not a difficult hole. It's a short iron second to a flagstick today on the right-hand side. We should see one of these 2 iron shots played in here today be pretty close to the hole.
Over at the 12th, Don Cole in an unfortunate bogey run right now.
Well, she has a very good tee shot here in good position. She's taking a fairway wood. Wants to probably go down the left side of the fairway to avoid the bunker to the right.
You gotta miss it.
Be good, ball. Right there.
And she got by the bunker.
Up on the green in the distance, Dottie Mockray.
Putting straight back up the hill from about 45 feet from the flagstick.
She's an excellent long putter, Steve.
Well, I'll say, great effort. Look at Dottie Mockray, you think she chews the enamel off her molars when she plays.
Now Donna Andrews playing very well. She is at even for the championship. This is for a birdie. She's 1 under on the day, and she has sole possession of 3rd place, Mary.
And Brent, she is quietly just going about her business. She had 2 birdie putts inside of 15 feet on the front 9. She left on the lip. This one not up against the fringe like when she incurred the 2-shot penalty the first day. Downhiller. And just like you have been talking about, the greens have picked up a lot of speed.
Donna Andrews played in the last group yesterday and did not want to be in that group today. Too much pressure.
Here's the young woman from Scotland at the 12th, Pam Wright, for a birdie.
Putt going back up the hill, swing to the left. Lost the pace of her swing yesterday. Found herself in heady company. Maybe a little unfamiliar with her surroundings.
Now let's check our defender, Meg Mallon, with a birdie opportunity here at the 13th.
She's played a good tee shot in this par 3. And a better putt.
She started to make some of those putts in the 3rd round, putting on a fine defense of her title.
And has an excellent opportunity, Rhonda, to wind up with a top 10 finish here. That's 2 birdies in a row for Meg Mallon. Now this a par saving putt here for Donna Andrews at the 11th.
And another one of the fine young players, her 3rd year on the tour, and she's already made $165,000 this year, and her putter is the best part. Nice score.
Years old, born in Boston, now lives in Pinehurst.
So Patty Sheehan with 2 victories this year on the LPGA, and Julie Inkster with 1, dueling it out right now.
I'll tell you what, it's only a 26 carry, 42 flag. That's a strong wind. That's right at us too. Yeah, I think knocked that little 5 down in there. Take it right at it.
Well, the translation is it's 126 to carry over this bunker, 142 yards back to the hole. Going to try to grip down and punch a little 5-iron back there. I happen to have seen her play this hole. Now this is the 3rd time. She's hit some very good iron shots here.
left to right, play it low, skip it up the hill, put it 5 feet away.
12th hole, third shot for Michelle McGann.
This is a pitching wedge from 120 yards, a little downwind. She drove in the rough, played a great 5-iron out of the rough. Difficult lie to lay that there. Played a beautiful third shot here.
Now live, here's Dawn Coe.
Dawn Coe from about 105 yards out of the light rough.
Run it up. Okay, easy, easy.
Oh, she got very unlucky there. That ball was coming out of the rough.
Right there.
It looked like it took
That's all right there.
a kick to the right, and I thought it was going to be right by the hole.
She has one win, and that was she edged Dottie Mottry to win the Kemper.
Back to Julie Inkster, her second.
Not many options here. The first time she's been in the rough today.
Saturday, a special edition of ABC's Wide World of Sports. The NFL from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. It'll be the New York Jets against the Philadelphia Eagles. That'll be live at 3 Eastern and 12 noon Pacific on ABC. Here it is, Julie Inkster and Patty Sheehan. They have reached the 11th green, and Inkster is away.
Very important that she rolls this long putt close. She cannot afford to 3-putt back to back.
A gorgeous putt under the circumstances. This is getting down to be match play at this point.
Dawn Coe at the 12th for a birdie.
Right there.
Now Patty Sheehan with a birdie attempt. I'm sure that many of you remember the 1989 San Francisco earthquake. On that night, Patty Sheehan and Julie Inkster were both out at Candlestick Park preparing to watch the World Series game between the Giants and the Oakland A's. And that evening, both spent the night at home over at the Inkster's residence. They have been good friends and both played golf at San Jose State. And here they are dueling for an Open championship.
Would have tied it up.
Yesterday, Patty Sheehan said the golf demons always try to play havoc with my brain at night. I'm going to take my cross to bed with me tonight. I'd rather be tied for the lead than have a 9-stroke lead. That 9-stroke lead was a reality a couple years ago in Atlanta, and she could not hold on. And after her round yesterday, Frank Hannigan spoke to Patty about that Open.
Well, I'm trying to put all of that in perspective. It was a very difficult time, but I bounced back and almost won the next week. So I'm kind of a fighting type of person. I will come back and try again until I get it right. But I've taken a lot of pressure off myself this week, and I'm just trying to keep it down to a real basic theory out there when I'm playing. I'm trying to be very basic and just stick with fundamentals and follow the ball, hit it again, and whatever happens, happens. And certainly we'll probably have some sort of disappointment tomorrow if I don't win, but it'll be an entirely different story if I do win the Open.
Obviously disappointed at not making that birdie putt back there. has Julie Inkster in at par with a wonderful lag putt. Rhonda, you said she was a good long putter, and now at the 12th tee, here's Patty.
She has bogeyed this hole the last 2 rounds.
Shot.
Patty won the LPGA Championship twice, needs 2 more wins, including another major to get into the Hall of Fame.
Well, this is an extremely difficult par 5. It's been one of the most difficult holes for all the competitors in this championship. To go up ahead on that green, Michelle McGann, the longest hitter on the women's circuit, had this for birdie.
Turned pro in 1988 at age 18.
So the woman in the hat gets it done, and Steve, here is this long par 5.
Brent, it's a gorgeous hole. The tee shots today are played over those first set of bunkers between the 2 bunkers left and the one to the right. Then it's a difficult second shot. It's a layup shot either short of the bunker there on the left or between those bunkers. From there, it's a third shot played to a green, which you've already seen slopes away from you. The flag stick today on the left-hand side, just below the crest. We've only had 3 birdies here all day.
Michelle McGann is on the tee at 13. And Eddie, how's she been hitting the ball off the tee today?
Brent, she has hit some tremendous drives. The lady scorekeeper told me in this group that at number 1 she drove it 280 yards, and at number 4, the other measuring hole, she drove it 253, but the ball was embedded. And by my count, at number 9 she drove it 285 or 90 yards, and she hit a 9-iron to the green, rather at number 10. So that's just unbelievable play, I think.
She's birdied 3 of the last 4 holes. She's at 1 over par. She's in 4th place.
Playing into quite a bit of wind here right now at 13, 165.
And into the bunker.
Well, she's such a young player. She was barely out of junior golf when she turned professional, and what a great star she's become.
Donna Andrews coming down the 12th now. This is her 3rd shot.
126 downwind and front bunkers to deal with. And that very severe green that slopes away from her. Good.
Almost the same place where Dottie Montre had put it.
Don Coe on the tee at 13.
Don Coe with a 4-iron, as I said, going straight back into the wind right now. 165.
She's birdied this hole the last 2 rounds.
Well, she's left this ball to the right side. Got it up in that wind. The wind has picked up quite a bit right now, and it's very difficult, especially going back against it.
Now Patty Sheehan's second shot from the 12th fairway.
Well, she's taken out a fairway wood instead of an iron just for placement. Needs to try to hit the ball left of the right-hand bunkers. A good second shot here makes this a possible birdie hole. A bad second shot, and it's hard to make par. And it's going to be a hard par from there.
So a little opening.
Yes.
Julie Inkster, who's up by a shot as Patty Sheehan has gone into that bunker. Did she change her mind, Judy, on the club after that ball went in the bunker?
It looks to me I'm quite a ways up ahead of her, Brent, but as though she's taken out an iron, and with the wind at her back right now, that's all she needs. She can hit a 3 or 4 iron down there and still have a short iron to the green.
Okay. 4.
ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the U.S. Women's Open Championship continues.
We're back. Michelle McGann in that bunker there alongside the 13th green.
Brent, that's a gorgeous golf shot. She did not have a lot of green with which to play, and it was going downhill. She stopped that ball very well. Even though it's just barely stopped rolling, that's about as well as she could have done.
While we're away, here's Donna Andrews. 4th shot at the par 5 12th.
It's an uphill chip shot all the way. Just get the right roll on it. Speed is what you need.
You can see from that flagstick that the breeze picking up now. Murray, here we are live for the putt.
I think the wind is going to make the difference coming in. It's the first time they've had it all week. Not even in the practice rounds did they have it. Donna's putt. It's about a 5-footer. Uphill halfway and then downhill second half. This is a very, very treacherous green. Just a misread.
Michelle McGann and Donna Andrews are now tied at +1. And Judy, what about Patty Sheehan's situation?
Well, she's caught a pretty good lie in the bunker, Brent, but it's a fairly deep bunker. The thing in her favor is I think she can hit a pitching wedge, so it's borderline whether she can get it up and out or not, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I think she can do it.
So here's Michelle McGann now attempting to save par and stay tied with Donna Andrews. Gail Graham for par here at the 12th.
She ran her first putt by, really trying to make birdies at this point, and a good putt coming back.
She's +3 for the championship and in 6th place, tied for 5th actually. And opportunity for the Canadian to wind up with a fine top 10 finish here in the U.S. Open. Now let's go back out to Patty Sheehan's problem. This was her 2nd shot here into the fairway bunker. 3rd shot coming up right now. The 2nd one into the bunker.
Well, as I said, 120 yards back to the hole. She has 97 yards to the front edge of the green. A shot that is not a terribly difficult shot if she can get the ball up fast enough. You can see that the face of the bunker is almost shoulder high with Patty.
This is the green that rolls so strongly toward the back. We've seen 2 players go off the back, so she needs to land the ball short of the hole.
Well, she caught some of the front of that bunker.
Get up. Sit.
She's had 2 bogeys already. Have to fight hard from keeping the 3rd in a row.
Dottie Mocker's 2nd at the 14th.
Par 4 of 340 yards. Flagstick front right. Very accessible.
Get in the hole. Get back there.
Too much spin and too soft.
Michelle McGann finishing up with a bogey at 13, so she's now at 2 over. Donna Andrews at 1 over, and here's our leader. So she figures to clear out of the par 5, holding on to her advantage. Next Sunday on ABC, the Indy cars cut loose on the 2-mile speedway outside of Detroit. Defending champion Rick Mears, who holds a speedway record at 225 miles per hour, leads the world's greatest drivers in the Michigan 500 live next Sunday on ABC. While we're away, this is Patty Sheehan, her 4th shot here on the par 5 12th hole. She trails Julie Inkster by a shot.
That is the shot played out of respect to the speed and the slope of these greens.
Dottie Mockery's birdie attempt here at 14.
Great spot from which to go at birdie, going straight up the hill.
Well, she's still 7 shots behind and has only 4 holes to play. She made that great run at the Women's Open in Atlanta, a bunch of birdies on the back 9, but she may be too far behind now.
The tee at 13, Donna Andrews.
165 uphill into the wind, and Donna has a 4-iron. She has hit some wonderful shots after making bogeys the last couple days that I've watched her.
Long par putt here for Patty Sheehan.
I've seen very few players able to recover from a miscued second shot on this par 5.
Well, this hole has really just bamboozled her. I mean, if she misses this putt, that's 3 times in a row that she's bogeyed it.
Of course, she had a very bad break yesterday, caught a lie on her 3rd shot that was very difficult to play from.
Easy to 3-putt from here.
Had she parred this hole all 4 days, she would have a 2-shot lead right now.
There's the scoreboard right now. Only 2 of the women under par here at Oakmont.
And there was a lot of discussion about whether or not women could play Oakmont in par or better. They're not in yet. They sure are giving it a strong run.
You bet. Rhonda, have they enjoyed the experience? Betsy King was somewhat critical of coming to Oakmont, I thought, in her pre-tournament comments, but how about the rest of them?
Well, I have not heard one complaint. Everybody seems so thrilled to be playing on this great golf course. They can hardly wait to tee off the next day and have at it.
Wouldn't this be huge if Julie Inkster could sink this birdie putt? Remember, she birdied this one yesterday.
She had a good putt. She knows she hit a good putt.
It's really getting down to match play between these two. They're so far ahead of the rest of the field. Julie so experienced in match play, having won 3 straight U.S. Women's Amateur Championships. However, the only time they've ever played head-to-head, Patty Sheehan beat Julie Inkster in the California State Amateur.
Donna Andrews for a birdie here at 13.
And a very, very slick, fast putt downhill and downwind.
This is for a bogey for Patty Sheehan here at the 12th.
This hole could take a lot of wind out of her sails. She had a little adversity early in the day, but there were a lot of holes left then.
You're right, Judy. She had to have that one.
Andrews tapped in for her par at 13. So Julie Inkster with her husband watching from the gallery. And Brian wanted to see that putt put down, didn't he? The 2 of them also travel with their 2-year-old daughter on the LPGA, and Frank Hannigan spoke to Julie about that yesterday.
Well, it's tough. But I wouldn't have it any other way. She travels with me every week, and You know, we got 9 or 10 pieces of luggage, and every week's a different place we stay. But she's adapted very well, and yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a whole lot.
And when the day is over, and on days when you play just rotten, are you a good mom?
I think I'm a good mom. I think it's really helped me with my golf game as far as taking it home. I don't seem as I don't know, stressed out when I get home. You know, she makes me forget about my round. I come out fresh the next day. You know, I feel like I'm more of an all-around person now. I have a family and I have a career, and I feel like I can do both very well.
Well, a couple of times today, Patty Sheehan has stumbled, but on each occasion she has recovered. And Steve, here they are at this par 3 13th.
Well, Brent, it's a short par 3, the shortest hole on the course, to a kidney-shaped green surrounded by 4 bunkers. The flagstick today is in the back 2/3 of the green. It's a very, very narrow area.
Report that Vicky Getz out of the University of Georgia shot a 74 today, wound up at 301, and she was the low amateur for this women's championship. Vicky Getz, a fine competitor.
165 yards here today. The wind is becoming more and more of a factor right into her face here. Julie has a 5-iron. She has seemed very solid to me, Brent.
And of the 2 players, she seems to be the more composed.
This is something that no one wanted to see today. The weather warning appearing. There have been some severe thunderstorms in the area. One blew around Oakmont earlier today, fortunately.
Patty with 1 more club. This is a 4-iron. And she's hit it hard left.
So Julie Inkster with a 2-shot lead and in real good shape here at the 13th.
When the 1969 U.S. Amateur Championship came to Oakmont, only one player was able to cope with Oakmont's legendary fast and firm greens. That was our man Steve Melnick, who won the amateur here with a score of 286, 5 shots ahead of the field. Steve Melnick was the king of American amateurs then, and it was a tough league. In Steve's wake that year were the likes of Tom Watson, Lanny Watkins, Tom Kite, and John Mahaffey.
Oakmont, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh, an overcast sky, but what great crowds they have had for this Women's Open. Already the crowd for this one has surpassed the combined crowd turnout for the last 2 United States Women's Open Championships. And the gathering around the 18th green, and it would be a shame if some lightning appears here in an hour or so and sends this crowd scampering. They've really enjoyed this. Now back to Patty Sheehan at the 13th. Andrews, second shot at 14.
She's 114 to the pin, but into the wind. She has a 9-iron. Sit. She was worried about that left-hand bunker.
Let's go back to Julie Inkster here for a birdie at 13.
She's left herself one that she can really take a run at, right straight up the hill.
When you talk about head-to-head competition and Julie Inkster's record in her playoffs alone, she's beaten Pat Bradley, Nancy Lopez, Beth Daniel, Betsy King. She's beaten the best.
So we have an opportunity down at the bottom of your screen in alphabetical order. You can pick out the competitors, and that's where they stand overall for the championship. And Patty Sheehan, Steve, I want to ask you, because you made a comment before we start the broadcast, that the women as a whole, you don't think chip real well. You think that's one of the weaknesses with women, and I'm really surprised they don't have a better short game around the green.
I think it's a matter of hand strength. Brent, you find yourself with some tough places around the greens. I think hand strength is a big and major asset to being able to handle some of those shots, those pitches and chips around the greens. And it has betrayed Patty here on the last couple of holes, hasn't it? Well, you can find yourself some awkward spots here. Yeah, here at the 16th now. Meg Mallon's second. Long way from this flag stick in the back right-hand portion of the green. Such an advantage to have local knowledge, or perhaps a local caddy to point out some of the breaks. Now Sheehan needs this one to save par here at 13.
Just about a must make at this point.
3 times in the past she has seen this championship just start to slip away, and one would hope she's not getting those feelings now, but if she misses this one, who knows. Well, that puts a little bounce in her step.
Gail Graham for birdie here at the 14th.
Coming off a 3-putt at the 13th hole, and not happy with that one. 2 good, young, solid players in this group. We're going to hear a lot about Gail Graham and Donna Andrews.
So the leaders are walking to the 14th hole here, Steve.
Brent, there are no less than 13 bunkers on the 14th hole. If you can fit your tee shot among those 8 or 9 bunkers there in the landing area, you're left with a short pitch to a flag stick today in the front of the green. We should see a birdie or 2 here.
So there is Julie Inkster, our leader by 2 shots. And Londa, what about her nerves as we come down the stretch now? You pointed out she has a wonderful record in match play.
Well, as a professional, her playoff record, I think that 4-1 proves that she has really steely nerves. But that one loss was this year, and that came because of a miscue, rather, on the tee at the first playoff hole. She had a bad drive. Coming down the stretch at the Nabisco Dinah Shore, she had made some crucial shots to get in a position for that playoff.
Beautiful 3-wood off the tee here.
And in that Dinah Shore competition, Patty Sheehan wound up 3rd. The winner was Dottie Mockery in the LPGA Championship. Patty tied for 7th, and Julie wound up 9th. So both of these women coming down the stretch have been strong in their major championship play this year. Patty Sheehan with 28 victories and a win here and then one more, and she would move to the Hall of Fame, and that's an honor she'll get someday. Here she is now.
Beauty. Shot good.
Shot for shot.
Up on the green, Donna Andrews.
Right against the fringe, just like the first day when she incurred a 2-shot penalty.
She has just missed a couple of times. She's alone in 3rd place at 1 over par behind our 2 leaders.
Oakmont is a tough course now, but you should have seen it in the old days. It was at Oakmont where the knack for maintaining truly fast greens was learned, where Harry Cooper, in the lead, putted off a green into a bunker on the 71st hole of the 1927 U.S. Open. And then there were the Oakmont bunkers, which were maintained with big furrows, making sand play a terrifying prospect.
They were installed with a special rake that looked like a medieval torture instrument. They were too much even for the USGA, which refused to allow Oakmont's bunkers to be furrowed for the 1953 Open, which was won by the great Ben Hogan.
The United States Women's Open Championship. Julie Inkster, the leader. She has played very consistently here today. Patty Sheehan, whom she is paired with, is 2 shots behind the lead.
130 yards, the wind hurting her. The hole cut in the front part of the green where the green's narrow.
Turn it.
This is one of the few hole placements in the front of the greens, most of them in the back today.
On the tee at the 15th, Donna Andrews.
Fine tee shot, bunkered right and left, but the players can't see it from the tee.
Something to keep in mind about Patty Sheehan on holes 14 through 18 for the week. She has not made 1 bogey. She has played these finishing holes in 3 under par.
Nice little wind shot she's played here.
Shot, buddy.
So the 2 good friends continue their duel, and yesterday Frank asked Patty her first recollection of Julie.
My first recollection was at the California State Amateur, where I played a match against her, and I believe we went extra holes, the 19th hole. So I did. But she was pretty young, and she was really pretty new to the game. I think she'd only been playing a couple years at that time. She was playing very well.
And then you both attended and played on the same college golf team. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Julie and I went to San Jose State together, and she would tell you that she taught me everything I know, but I think that's a different story from my end.
Now, moments ago, here's Michelle McGann. This is for a birdie. She has fallen 2 behind in her pursuit of Donna Andrews for 3rd place in this championship.
Keep your head up.
She should tap that in, but a glance around and the weather is starting to change here at Oakmont rather dramatically.
Pretty good shower out here right now, Brent. We had one a few minutes ago, but it was short-lived. Hope this one will be too.
Yeah, Judy, the umbrellas have been broken out here around the 18th green. Getting very windy out there on the course, and of course play can continue as long as there is not any lightning in the immediate area. That is what would bring play to a halt in a moment. Now Donna Andrews' 2nd shot at 15.
She's 162 to the pin downwind, but only 137 to the front. She has a 7-iron.
Turn over. Come on, work in, ball.
I heard her say it. Turn over.
Get up. Get up.
Now the 14th hole. Now on that green, Julie Inkster, I believe, is away.
A putter that saw its first action at the Nabisco Dinah Shore this year when Julie lost in a playoff. Played very well for 4 days.
Rolling well by, wasn't it? You know, what's very interesting here, Steve, Terry Jastrow, our producer, remembers it so well. I believe he was directing that day back in 1983 that Tom Watson was on this green when the weather changed and forced them to play on Monday. Frank Hannigan probably too remembers that moment. So here we are at the Women's Open Championship now, and our 2 leaders get to this green, and down comes the rain again.
Well, if play is suspended, that might hurt Julie Inkster. She's got the lead right now, has the momentum going. Patty Sheehan might want a little bit of a delay to kind of regather her forces and go out and give it another go.
The rain certainly is not bad enough at this point to do any kind of damage to the golf course, so we'd have to have some violent weather for that to be the case.
Now for birdie, Patty Sheehan.
Well, she's trying to answer the call for a birdie. The opposite side of the hole that Julie putted from, it'll move from her left to right.
Even this par here might serve her well. And let's take a look at Meg Mallon's second at the 17th.
Flag stick today in the top right-hand portion of the green. For our defender.
Playing a nice round today. 1 over par for the final round. And here is our leader with a Steve. What about this putt here to save par for Julie?
Well, I think on the first putt, Julie forgot about where she was and what the elements were. That all these greens slope down to the 10th green on this side of the freeway. Now she's going back up into the hill, but it should move to her right.
Julie has said that the course is playing tougher each day.
Oh, what a wonderful putt.
Right now, hard. Check the nose. They're in pretty good shape.
I think that answers my question right there.
Well, those two players, Patty Sheehan and Julie Inkster, really at the peak of their careers, at the peak of their powers as golfers. And we're seeing the new generation coming around. Dottie Mockery, Michelle McGann, and Donna Andrews.
Now at the 16th tee, here's Don Coe.
Got a good target like that? Don Coe has a 3-wood, 203 yards today.
Real good aggressive tempo.
The wind is blowing from her left, which with the flag stick on the right should help her get close to the hole if she can start the ball toward the center of the green. The wind should move it slightly to the right.
Players have been having a lot of trouble with this hole. A lot of them hitting into that right bunker. Big opening up there, though.
This is a hard hole, Rhonda. She has taken it on a perfect line. Ball stopped rather quickly, but she hit that ball right where she aimed it, I'm sure.
17th green for birdie. Here's Meg Mallon.
But that should move slightly left. And slightly left it did. So our defender now even parring around today. 4 over and all.
So our leader, Julie Inkster, one of the great sports fans in the San Francisco area. Boy, does she love the 49ers. Here she is on
the 15th, another in an impressive group of par 4s here at Oakmont. The landing area for the tee shot can't be seen from the tee. There's a white stake or white post in the distance. That's the target for the players from the tee. The second shot is a downhill side hill shot to a large green. The flag stick today in the back left-hand portion. Very difficult to get it close here today.
Now Patty.
Shot.
Working on her potassium intake. What an advantage Inkster has. She's out driving Sheehan by 15 yards. That's 14 driving holes. That's a 200-yard advantage over 18 holes.
16th tee, Michelle.
That was a 2-iron. Hit very solidly.
Her clubhead speed is just phenomenal.
What an advantage she has, being able to take a long iron at a green like this.
And here's for birdie at 15. their second shots at 15. And let's cut away for a moment and hear for Frank Hannigan.
This has been an historic Women's Open. It's the first women's competition ever for Old Oakmont, which has staged earlier 13 national championships, all of them for men. The women have coped rather well with this brutal old golf course, even though it's played longer than anticipated because of the rain. The average score is 75 and a fraction, about a shot and a half higher than when the men last played here in 1983 for a men's open. But the numbers are not relevant. As a matter of fact, women's golf has always suffered from an inappropriate comparison with men's golf. There is an operative phrase for male snob golfers. It's that they can't really play. Funny, but in tennis, nobody says that Steffi Graf and Monica Seles can't really play. Of course they can play, and so can these great women golfers, compared with their peers, not with Nick Faldo or Freddie Couples. So it's been a good week. The crowds are sizable, but the best omen of all may be in a merchandise tent, one of those modern things that go with big championships. It's stuffed with logo merchandise for both the 1992 Women's Open and the 1994 Men's Open to come at Oakmont. And glory be, the women's clothing is outselling the men's clothing by 2 to 1. It's the first time in history that men have bought women's golf apparel.
And some of them need the women's umbrellas right now, Frank, if nothing else. Rain starting to come down, but this has been a great setting for the Women's Open. Julie Inkster at 4 under with a 2-shot advantage over Patty Sheehan, her good friend. And for each of the last 2 days, they have the duel for the championship. Nancy Lopez winding up at 11 over par. She shot a 73, and so she was the low Hall of Famer here today.
And equaled the first hole, a 2 on the par 4.
Patty Sheehan, rain coming down pretty steadily now, 156 yards from the hole.
Right at it now.
Probably a 5-iron in there, the ball below her feet. I think probably as generous a hole placement as you can have on this green. Excellent shot.
Very difficult to keep the concentration in the rain.
One goal for birdie at 16. Dottie Mockery's second shot, 17.
About 80 yards out. But a check to caddy. And his yardage, that's buried in the back bunker.
And her caddy is her husband, of course, Doug Mockery.
She won't like that one. I wonder if you'd chew your caddy out when he's your husband.
Julie Inkster content to have her husband Brian marching in the gallery, and today is their 12th wedding anniversary, and what a celebration this can be if Julie Inkster can hold on and win her first Open championship.
Well, she won her first U.S. Women's Amateur Championship on her honeymoon, so maybe that bodes well.
You got the right.
Trying to pick the right club here with a little breeze at her back. She was turned on again by that short putt she made for par at 14. She really tagged this ball, only 110 yards to the front, 135 to the hole.
The wind is just stopping and going, you know? It's only 109 front, right?
It's just 109 front. Normally carry the 920 downwind. You should carry the 25 to 26.
What do you like?
I like that. Just a little swing.
Julie is one of many players on the tour that wears contact lenses. Maybe a problem with the rain, although certainly glasses are a greater problem. Golf needs to fly.
What she needs to do is shoot pars and make Patty Sheehan come up with some birdies. Now Michelle McGann. This is for par at 16. Her boyfriend John Fino was drafted by the Buffalo Bills, watching her play here today.
Very unlucky, Brent. She's had that happen a couple of times. 180-degree lip out.
McNallen's second shot at the 18th.
After a well-played tee shot. Beautiful golf swing.
She's been a great U.S. Women's Open champion. Made so many friends for the game. Always willing to sign an autograph, say hello.
I was impressed when she showed up at the Masters this year as a spectator. Watch Freddie Couples and Woosie duke it out.
17th tee, Don Coe.
Except for that one bad little streak of holes in the middle of the round, she has played a very, very steady round, having a very good tournament.
Yeah, Eddie, she's in sole possession of 4th place right now. 3 over for the championship. Donna Andrews in 3rd, and Patty Sheehan 2nd, and Julie. Here's Donna.
203 yards into the wind with a forward. She's been very impressive today. Bogeys, 2 birdies.
Be there.
That's good.
Be there, Bob.
Very gutsy shot, taking it in over the bunker instead of going to the center of the green.
So here's Michelle.
Shot, Michelle. Off the tee with an iron.
Well, on a golf course that has a number of beastly par 4s, this one's kind of fun at 285 yards. It's a little layup shot to the crest of the hill. Then it's a pitch shot to this green surrounded by 5 bunkers. The flag stick today in the upper right-hand portion. It's an easy shot, but very difficult to get it close. It is the easiest hole on a golf course, which doesn't have too many easy holes.
Now let's go back to our leader here at the 15th.
Well, she left herself some 30 feet or more short of the hole. Not an easy 2-putt, but I think her touch is pretty well honed at this point.
She keeps leaving herself those 3, 4, and 5 footers. She's making it tough on herself. She's about to squander a 2-stroke lead with some carelessly played lag putts.
She had a lot of those yesterday. Left them for herself and made them.
McNallen at 18. Well, this hole has yielded only 11 birdies all week long. Is it 12?
Remember, she began her tournament with a double bogey on the first hole, hung in there and played steady golf to the finish.
Tied for 4th at this moment. That's quite a defense.
Now Patty Sheehan needs to find a birdie here, doesn't she? There was a 2-shot swing way back on the 10th hole. The birdie.
Well, she's made some good ones coming in.
Now to clean up Dowdy Mockery's story up at 17. This is for a bogey.
Remember, she was buried in the bunker, left it there, played her 4th shot to here.
Over for the championship. Now back to Julie Inkster, and If she cannot save par here, we would be deadlocked with 3 to go.
Well, Rhonda, you talked about match play. That putt just made this putt a lot longer.
You're exactly right.
This putt wants to get away to the left.
Oh, boy.
She saves par again, just as she did at the 14th. But that lead now is down to 1, and we'll have more after this message and a word from our ABC stations. 3 holes left in the 4th round of this U.S. Women's Championship, and only 1 shot separates Julie Inkster and Patty Sheehan, the 2 good friends who have dueled the 3rd round and now again here in the 4th. This par 3 is next for them, and then 2 finishing par 4s. Julie Inkster with magnificent par saving putts on 14 and 15. We'll show you Patty Sheehan's tee shot in just a moment. Now let's take a look at Julie.
Well, she's taken out her metal fairway club. .203 into the wind.
And just before Julie, this tee shot from Patty Sheehan.
Well, the 16th is the longest par 3 this week, 206 yards. We have seen 2 fine shots just played here today by our leaders. It's a tabletop green with bunkers left and right. Par is an excellent score.
Well, this was a memorable hole in the 1983 Men's Open with Larry Nelson. This is how Jim McKay and Dave Mars saw that.
Just get me down in 2, huh? Oh, my, look at this putt. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, my goodness. Right in the heart.
That was Jack Whitaker, who was working with Dave Marr. That memorable putt here at 16, and now this par 3 could play a role here in the outcome of this Women's Championship.
What we're seeing here, I think, Brent, is the best competition we've seen Women's Open since 1987.
Dottie's second shot at 18.
From about 170 yards out. Never say die, Michael.
Back at the 17th, Michelle McGann for a birdie. The woman in the hat who wears all that jewelry.
Find it.
But for a few more turns today, she could have been right up at the top. She's come awfully close.
Now our leaders have reached the green at 16.
Well, they're faced with similar length birdie putts. Although, well, I'm really not sure which player is away, to tell you the truth. I think Patty is away. The difference being Patty has a putt more or less up into the hill. Julie's putt is a putt that could get away from you.
Judy, this is a downhill par 3. It doesn't look it from the tee, but the pace of the putts on the green is affected by that, and I think you just called it. It really breaks to the back right side of the green.
Slow down. Slow.
Hard to imagine she's going downhill from the front of the green. It's almost like an optical illusion here at 16.
Neither of the players has bogeyed this hole.
Here's McGann at the 18th tee. She can put a charge to it. Now back to Inkster.
This is actually a little easier putt. She's putting back into the slope. The ball will go to the left. It's makeable.
Nice par for Julie Inkster. Andrews' second shot at 17. All alone in third place in a great championship, Mary.
Wonderful, Brennan. She's 106 with that big mouth of bunker in front of the green that comes into play. She's been kind of terrific the last few weeks. Lost in the playoff 2 weeks ago, and now it looks like she's going to finish third.
How important is this putt for Patty Sheehan?
It's a putt that looks like it goes left. And if she misses this putt, she's likely to miss it on the high side, the right-hand side.
That's a 2-shot lead with 2 to go for Julie Inkster. Up on 18, Dottie Mockery's birdie attempt.
The heck with a towel when you're on the last hole and you're running hot.
Well, she'll be changing that shirt in 5 minutes anyway.
It's pretty feisty.
Now the situation with Donna Andrews. This is for a birdie at 17. Great performance by the graduate of the University of North Carolina, now lives at Pinehurst. And our leaders have reached the 17th. And Steve, you would think now that Patty Sheehan has to gamble and go all out for a birdie.
She's got to put the ball in play, and that's what Julie Inkster has to. If she puts the ball in play, she continues to put pressure on Patty Sheehan.
Julie safely away.
Shot. Beauty. Beauty.
And so too is Sheehan. and they will have to leave the course, I believe, because of lightning striking in the area. You could hear the horn. And so what a moment for that horn to sound, with Julie Inkster leading by 2. We'll come right back. Next Sunday on ABC, 12 of the finest drivers in the world will climb into equally matched cars to battle side by side at over 190 miles per hour from the 2-mile super speedway outside of Detroit. The International Race of Champions next Sunday on ABC Sports. And here at Oakmont, with 2 holes to play, a weather warning, the USGA in constant touch with a meteorologist, and about 8 miles away there was a severe lightning strike. And so David Eager, along with Stuart Block, who is the president there on David's right as David drives off, and the horn was sounded and the competitors were cleared off of the course and told to seek shelter immediately. We understand that there is a major electric cell in the area. This was the moment. You can imagine how jarring that was for Julie Inkster, with a 2-shot advantage here, seeking her first Open Championship, well off the tee and thinking about the job up ahead, and suddenly her concentration is completely broken, and she'll try to keep her thoughts gathered. And we are told that the delay is only going to be about 25 or 30 minutes, and that there should be clearing, and then they would come back and able to complete the final round here of the U.S. Women's Open. And while we have a break and an opportunity, let's take everybody around it. Leaders, well, Judy Rankin, where did our leaders find shelter out there?
Well, I am with Patty, and I'm sitting in the back seat with Julie of a van, and we're being transported to the clubhouse to safety. Really, the skies didn't look a great deal different than they've looked all day. It didn't get much darker or anything. The rain had been coming down for 2 or 3 holes, but I don't think we had any warning that this was coming.
Judy, did the USGA tell the players anything about how long they might be held up here?
We spoke to David Eager in the 17th fairway just before heading for the van, and he said that they did not expect this to last a long time, and but that it was severe enough that everyone should go to safety.
And so indeed they have.
again with just 2 holes remaining, and Julie Inkster a leader over Patty Sheehan by 2 strokes. The warning, because a lightning strike has been sighted in the area within 10 miles. That's the normal point where they will bring an immediate halt to play, and so for the time being we have had it interrupted, and we probably will not have a long stoppage, and Julie and Patty will go back out to the 17th fairway. And while we do have a break, let's see some great moments in the Men's Open from Pebble Beach, and here's our colleague Jim McKay.
ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the U.S. Women's Open Championship continues.
Well, in the clubhouse with Julie Inkster and Patty Sheehan, I know we shouldn't argue with Mother Nature, but this is kind of poor timing, Julie.
Well, it's been like this all week. We've had bad weather all year practically, so you know, you just gotta, nothing you can do about it. You know, I think the USGA did good in pulling us off.
Well, as we've been waiting for this interview to happen, this really is a friendly rivalry. You all have been talking about the speed of the greens.
Actually, I hate her guts right now, but no. Yeah, Julie thinks that the speed of the greens gets faster when it rains, and I don't know if I agree with that, but we're still chit-chatting about it.
Well, really, a tremendous battle today. Wonderful golf from both of you. Julie, are you as long as you've been hitting the ball today, or is there a little adrenaline rush there?
I think there's a little adrenaline going, but they're in the fairway, so I don't care how long they are, just as long as they're straight.
What happens now with this delay? You both seem very relaxed. Julie, you've been cutting up since we got into the car at the 17th hole. You just try to regroup and go finish up what you've started so well today?
I think so. You know, I feel like I'm playing well, and you know, I've got a hole and a half to play and 2 tough holes, so hopefully they'll let us warm up a little bit and go out there and shoot away. You know, there's not really anything else I can do.
Well, Patty, you've made a couple of efforts to get right back with her today. There are still 2 holes to play. The old saying, it's never over till it's over. I know you feel that way.
Well, I do feel that way, and I've given Julie a couple of early Christmas presents today, so she should be thanking me. And I don't know, there is a hole and a half left to go, and as we all know, funny things can happen.
Be nice
funny
now.
things can
Be
happen,
nice.
Julie.
Be nice.
Well, your thoughts on playing a golf course that has had so much visibility and recognition over our lifetimes in golf. This has been a treat, has it not?
I'll tell you, it's something special walking up that 18th hole with the clubhouse back there. The history here is unbelievable, and just to be able to be a part of it, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, the only thing we could ask for better now is a chance to finish this championship.
I hear you.
Well, girls, we all wish you good luck. We've really enjoyed watching this duel today, and hope we get it finished today. Brent?
Judy, thank you very much. That really is what golf should be all about. Tough competition when you're out there, and good friends when you walk away. Julie Inkster with our lead, and we're going to take a look at some highlights from earlier in the day. We've got Rhonda Glenn and Steve Melnick, who have been here throughout this championship competition. And so why don't we sit back now, Rhonda and Steve, and take a look at things.
Well, this is the 9th hole. Julie Inkster, a birdie attempt. Yeah. And this really got things rolling for Julie. What a great duel today.
But this was a great putt for birdie at the 10th. A big swing from the right, very fast putt.
And people said women couldn't play this golf course. They're really showing us. On the 11th hole, Patty Sheehan, her second shot to this par 4 hole. 328 yards, little wind here, and she played a knockdown with a 5-iron. This was just an elegant shot.
This was a shot that Lee Trevino might have played.
So Patty had a shot at a birdie here, about a 5-foot putt. Things are getting tight. She really needed it. But just misread it a little bit, hit it through the break.
Then she went to the par 5 12th hole at 570 yards. This was her 4th shot from the first cut of heavy rough. Now she was faced with a difficult 2-putt. This is her putt for bogey.
And that was an awfully good putt. A double would have just thrown her out of it. So Patty staying with it. And here on the 13th, this putt for par.
She had bunkered her tee shot, played a lovely shot to there, and made that to save par. Now Inkster, after her approach putt, putted it by about 8 or 9 feet. Had this for a 2-putt.
What nerves, I'll tell you. Julie and Patty, both of them with the Open Championship on the line and able to make them. On the 15th hole, this is a hard par 5. Patty Sheehan's second shot, or excuse me, a hard par 4, that is.
One of her best swings of the day, Rhonda.
Just a superb shot. They've been knocking the pins down, and when they didn't, they made the comeback putts. This is for the birdie on the 15th. And there's another one. We've seen that little dance step about 3 holes in a row from Patty Sheehan, and she deserved to make it too.
Now once again, Inkster ran her approach putt well past the cup. She had this for par. Stepped up, didn't waste any time. Put it right in the center.
Some kind of golf we're seeing today, Steve. 16, Patty Sheehan for a par. This is another long one.
Really one of her worst efforts of the round. This never got on line below the hole all the way, so she drops a shot with a bogey here at 16.
So the rain has let up here at Oakmont, and the spectators are starting to file back in. And the grounds crew will hustle out here and squeegee off that 18th green. And we are close to resuming play.
The skies begin to clear over Oakmont, Pennsylvania. And down below at the Oakmont Country Club, it is ready to resume play. The final round of the United States Women's Open Championship. Julie Inkster and Patty Sheehan, dueling together, are in the 17th fairway. About 2 hours ago, because of a severe lightning strike in the area, play was interrupted. A heavy rain came down, but just a short time ago, the wonderful grounds crew here at Oakmont completed the task of cleaning off the 17th and the 18th green. And you are looking at 35-year-old Patty Sheehan of Reno, Nevada. She is 2 behind with a hole and a half to play. This her second shot on the par 4 17.
Desperately needing a birdie, she'll play this sand wedge from 86 yards. The ball sits on an old divot, but it sits pretty nicely.
Giving herself a chance for a birdie here at 17. I'm Brent Musburger. You just heard from Judy Rankin. Rhonda Glenn, Steve Melnick are also here as the final moments of this U.S. Women's Open Championship continues. This is 32-year-old Julie Inkster out of Los Altos, California. These two women are extremely good friends, but yet neither has won the biggest prize in women's golf, the Open Championship.
Yeah! Yeah!
Staying right with Sheehan.
Just as it's been all afternoon, shot for shot, Julie Inkster and Patty Sheehan. After the rain delay, I felt more pressure would be on Julie Inkster with that 2-shot lead. She had a lot of time to think about it.
Now, meanwhile, in third place, Donna Andrews, graduate of the University of North Carolina, who now lives in Pinehurst. She's at even par for the championship. And this is a woman who could have been disqualified back on Thursday, but Frank Hannigan of our broadcast team called it the officials' attention that she had violated a rule, and before she signed her scorecard, the score was corrected, and here she is. She could wind up with her greatest finish ever in a major championship. A wonderful story, and she's at the tee now in this great finishing hole here at mighty Oakmont. And how about the crowd now that has come back and surrounding the green on up ahead?
That tee shot. Hang on.
Finding the fairway there, Mary.
Well, Mary was making the point. You have to keep the tee shot in the fairway here. The rough is brutal. It's very wet, and it would be a very difficult iron shot to the green from the rough.
One of our Canadian competitors, Gail Graham, now at the tee.
After a long wait, it's hard to get out and just hit the tee shot on one hole, but she has hit a good one as well.
So they are both away at the 18th tee. Now we go back to our leader, Julie Inkster. 4 under for the championship for the 4 rounds, 2 under for the day. This is for a birdie.
Might have been a putt, Brent, that could have sewed it up for her.
Now, if Patty makes hers, there'll be just a one-shot difference with 1 hole to play. They have both wanted this title desperately for at least a decade. Both of them coming close. Patty disappointed 3 times, 3 previous Opens, finishing second.
Well, some long time ago now, Patty 3-putted at the 16th. You know, she felt like she really gave Julie a gift there. This would recoup that stroke and make 18 all the golf they want for today.
She's in the best position from which to go at birdie. It's an uphill putt, breaks to the left. It's just outside on the right.
Down to 1. With the 18th up ahead.
Great putt, Patty.
Well, she had to do it, Brent. She had no choice. Had to do it on that hole.
Showtime.
And a look at the finishing green here at Oakmont, which has hosted 6 of the Men's Open Championships, but for the first time playing host to the women here this week. And Patty Sheehan, needing a birdie putt, comes up with it at the 17th. And now a closer look, Steve, at the 18th.
What a finish to this great championship. An uphill par 4, 390 yards, made even longer by these recent rains. It'll be a long second shot uphill to a tabletop green with a flagstick in the front left-hand portion. Lengthwise, it's advantage Inkster. Emotion-wise, it's advantage Sheehan.
Now there's going to be a little bit of a wait because 3 groups are on the 18th right now. Dawn Coe, who is in a tie for 4th place, but she faces her 4th shot here at this par 4 finishing hole. There you see Dawn at +3, and she's in a tie with last year's women's champion Meg Mallon, who has completed her round at 3 over par. So Dawn Coe taking her time because this one worth status and money.
Brent, she drove into the rough and she got relief from a tire track, but had to drop it in sort of a bad lie. Barely cleared the bunker and pitched short here in 3. She had sort of a bad string of holes at 9, 10, and 11 with those 3 bogeys in a row because she's played a beautiful tournament.
Now one of the bright young stars on the LPGA. This is Michelle McGann. She's engaged to a fine football player out of the University of Arizona, John Fina, who was a top draft choice of the Buffalo Bills. And meanwhile, you just have to wonder about this long wait for Julie Inkster. She hit her tee shot at 17, marched off, the siren sounded. She was forced to sit for 1 hour and 45, and now back at the 18th with Patty Sheehan having closed to within 1 shot. She must wait again.
I know Michelle must be a little disappointed at some of the putts that have gotten away from her on the back 9, but she's done herself a lot of favors this week. She's played a very, very difficult golf course well. And I think she could have finished this tournament at par or maybe 1 under if she had had a little more luck on the greens. She can really play golf, and she's going to be one of the great stars.
Ed Snead, you were really impressed with her driving ability today, weren't you?
Well, she's very, very long. I think she's maybe the longest hitter I've seen on the ladies tour, and she plays beautifully. She hasn't managed these greens very well, and I think that will only come with experience. I think when she gets a few more years out here, when she approaches a course that has greens this fast, she'll be a little more patient. Most of the time, she has run the ball well by the hole when she's through putting. She's fun to watch, though. She smiles a lot. I think she's going to be a crowd favorite, and she's going to be one of the better ones.
And that's her father, Bucky McGann, who plays for her. 22-year-old Michelle McGann. A great hit here this week.
So the wait continues because there are still some competitors left in the 17th fairway who can't come up yet either. You take a look back at Andrews back there and Graham. Up ahead it's Coe. This is for Bogey.
Good time.
Finish in this championship. Back in the fairway, and Mary, I believe Donna is first.
She is, Brent. She's 163 to the pin, and it's obviously all uphill and carry. And the key on a shot like this is to make sure you catch the ball first. You don't want to hit it just the slightest bit fat. Catch that ball first, even if you hit it a little thin.
Hold on.
And I have to say, it's just absolutely amazing the people in the stands around the 18th green. She has a 5-iron. Both these players have very, very long tee shots, carried the ball all the way to where it is. She has taken relief from casual water, and she has a 5-iron. I think she caught that just a little fat.
Now, meanwhile, that long, agonizing wait for Julie Inkster and Patty Sheehan.
Patty Sheehan will have the honor as a result of the birdie on the previous hole. And what an excruciating wait for Julie Inkster. A few minutes ago, she felt that as that ball started to fall in the cup on 17, her own putt, that maybe she had it wrapped up. Putt lipped out, Patty Sheehan made, and now there's but 1 stroke difference.
Well, these two friends were not talking while they waited at the 18th tee, and neither cracked a smile.
These are the afternoons you remember forever.
Tempo parts.
champion. Two very different golf swings in Steve Melnick. Let's take a closer look.
Let's take a look at these two very distinctive and different styles of Patty Sheehan and Julie Inkster's swing. First, Patty Sheehan. She starts a club head first going back, and it gets a running start. As a result, her backswing is a little longer. Let's take a look. Beautiful extension into the backswing. Notice a straight left arm and the shaft of the club just past parallel at the top. Inkster a little different. She starts the handle of the club, what we call a one-piece takeaway. Great extension into the backswing. Doesn't break her wrist quite as quickly. The club head is not running ahead of her arms like Patty Sheehan's, and as a result, the swing is not as long in the backswing. Now on the forward swing, watch Patty Sheehan keep her head well back at impact. Julie Inkster more centered at impact. There's Sheehan's head well back at impact. Julie Inkster is back, but not as far as Sheehan's. Great extension for both swings through to the finish. Very different styles, very effective styles.
Now, this moments ago, Gail Green for birdie. Wonderful way to finish the championship, and now it's Donna Andrews who will be wrapping up a third-place finish. Not too far.
Well, Brett, she has a couple putts to deal with here. No matter what, she'll finish third even if she misses this, but pride is a big factor at this point. What she has done really is created more of a weight for Patty Sheehan and Julie Inkster in the fairway.
One more issue to be settled.
Well, there's been some discussion here as to who's away. They are virtually right across the fairway from each other. I believe that Stuart Block and Ann Beard are out here in the fairway with the USGA. And they have determined that Julie is away. There's a delay at the moment as Ann Beard looks to see if Patty Sheehan may get a drop from casual water. Julie Inkster's round to go.
Big advantage for Inkster to play first.
I think so too, Steve. She's just on a very slight upslope. Has a good lie. 155 yards.
Turn it. Get up. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
I think Patty got a fortunate bounce when the tee shot jumped just left off the hump off the bunker.
Point if you look over here, Patty.
This is over here?
That is the near, yes. Okay. So you can drop within one club length of that spot. Okay. Yes.
Frank Hannigan explained this ruling for us.
The casual water is a temporary accumulation of water. The player is not required to play if the ball is in water or if her stance is in water. She gets what we generally call free relief. Now she goes to the nearest point where that condition no longer exists, no nearer the hole. The referee has determined that you see the tee stuck in the ground. That's what the referee says the nearest point is. Now the net effect of that is that she goes from light rough into fairway. The rules allow that.
The only appreciable difference in the lie here is that now the ball...
That's okay. Okay, I thought that was the other mark. Okay.
Now the ball rests in the fairway. It was in the first cut of rough, but she had a very good lie. From virtually the same distance as Julie played. 155, maybe 154.
That's the club.
I think up into this hill, a 5 iron's the club for Patty.
Turn now, take it right at it.
Patty Sheehan won the California State Amateur, and the next year she was involved in a match with Julie Inkster that went down to the 19th hole before Patty finally won it. Now they have come to the finishing 18th hole. That applause is really for all the women who've competed here. This has been a wonderful performance. Prize in women's golf at stake here.
How few chances we get to win the Women's Open. Patty Sheehan's already had 3, and strangely enough, this is her 4th opportunity.
Inkster will be first to play, really setting the stage if Julie happens to miss for a tie, should she make.
Baby.
appeared to hop, Brent, when she hit it. Much tougher to have to make a putt to tie than it is to make a putt to win in this situation. Patty misses, there's no tomorrow. If she does make, Brent, there is tomorrow.
You know.
Makes this, and the two will go to an 18-hole playoff tomorrow at 11 Eastern time.
Judy Rankin wants to.
And Judy Rankin's down below with it.
Composure and grace under pressure from both of you. We're going to see you tomorrow and rededicate ourselves to this battle.
Yeah, Patty, made the putts when she had to. I had a good putt on 17. It just didn't go in.
This is Haley Inkster.
She made a great putt on 18, so we got to hand it to her.
Patty, did the delay give you some newfound courage to go out there and birdie these last two holes?
Well, I don't know what happened, but I just seemed to bring it on when I had to, and I knew that I had blown several opens, and it was about time that I showed some guts and brought it this time. And I'm just thrilled to death to be in this position, and Julie's a good buddy of mine, and I'm sure we'll fight it out again tomorrow.
Well, there's a lot of people looking forward to that battle. Congratulations to both of you for wonderful rounds of golf.
Thanks.
Back to you, Brent.
Thank you very much, Judy. A gutting finish by Patty Sheehan, birdieing 17 and 18 after a 1 hour and 45-minute rain delay. This the putt that forced a playoff. After 4 rounds, the two buddies remain deadlocked. 18 more holes to go. And for those of you on the West Coast who did not see the final results of the Senior British Open, John Ferree at 2 under, a winner over the left-hander Bob Charles, who was tied with Neil Coles. And tomorrow, an 18-hole playoff. Complete coverage on ESPN. For all of us here at ABC Sports, I'm Brent Musburger. So long